All right, what's going on, guys? Thanks to those joining me live and to those that will be joining me on archive. Let's go ahead and talk about what happened lately, or recently, that is. Recently, ESPN made cuts about over 100 employees, including um, on-air analysts. Okay, basically, they're trying to save money. All right, that's what's going on. All right, now ESPN is in a very unique situation right now, and so are every other TV provider out there. So I want to ask some questions, and I want you to like really think about these questions very honestly, honest and open. Okay. Number one, I want you to answer me this question. Number one, whoever's listening to this, whether live or later on, and take this question and ask other people. How many of you actually even have or pay for any type of cable TV or satellite TV service? How many of you? It's the truth is they're still out there. There's still people that still do, right? But depending on what demographic we're talking to, it's highly unlikely that you have it if you're a millennial. That's number one. Number two, um, it's really only people connected to that, um, or tied into that. That is number two, is that it's older individuals, middle age and up, that really still have TV, and the reason is because they haven't yet adapted to the new form of streaming. That's really what it is. Okay, so there was a time where my grandmother wanted TV because she wanted more channels, so she would get like a small package or something, whatever she could afford, with whether it was cable or satellite TV. But once she discovered Netflix and kind of learned how to use it and put it on her TV, in all honesty, she stopped watching. She just noticed she just stopped watching it. There was a time where she just said, I haven't watched TV in like about 4 or 5 months. It's rare that I see it. And then she would keep it on there because of the grandkids. That's what a lot of older people do, right? That they have the packages for their grandkids, for their teenage grandkids show up, and they could watch the ESPNs and all that, right? Well, the kids are watching on their smartphones now, on the tablet now. Okay, you're better off just getting internet service, and then they could watch whatever they want from there. You don't need the TV. I mean, it's just TV is becoming less and less relevant. It's becoming less and less relevant. It's not even funny how irrelevant it's becoming. It's even companies that provide TV service are starting to make the move towards streaming. Okay, and that's the way it is. I believe all of them have a way for you to stream shit on your phone, even though you have service with them on your TV. That's the way of the wind. That's the transformation we're looking at. Well, and here's my next question. When is the last time you sat down with a remote control and started to channel surf? Like sit down and bring up the guide and look for something to watch. When is the last time you did that? And once you find that time the last time before that. I'm not saying we never do it, but I'm going to be honest. I haven't channel surfed anything in a very, very long time. I already know what I want to watch. I already know I could watch it on demand whenever I want. I already know I could watch it at my convenience. I don't have to check every Saturday night on HBO to see what's on. Like I don't got to do that. Okay? And I could do it legally and illegally. Okay? That's the reality. When's the last time you channel surfed? When's the last time you did it? The only time people channel surf is because they're bored for 30 minutes and they got nothing else to do, so they'll turn on the TV and see what's on. That's it. And that's rare. Okay? And if you're one of the people that do it, believe me, you are a minority. A lot of people are not doing that anymore. They're just not. I remember when I was a teenager, man, I loved having 250 channels and all the premium channel that had HBO and Stars and Showtime and you know how many HBO channels I had? I had 8 of them. Wow. And I remember I would just go to the guide and I would just finding something to watch was like an exciting adventure. Well, that's not the case anymore. 250 channels, we, in all honesty, we don't even watch most of them. Okay. And reality is 250 doesn't compare to unlimited amount of shit on the internet. It just doesn't. There's no comparison. You go right now on YouTube and find anything you want to watch for your entertainment. Okay. You don't have to find a do-it-yourself shit on the DIY channel. Okay, let me go to the guide and find something I really want to watch. All right, I'm going to record that because I want to know how to, I don't know, hang shit on the walls, whatever they have on there, right? You could just go to YouTube and search it. Anybody could be a handyman nowadays. You just go to YouTube, search how to do shit, and you could learn how to do it. Just like that. I lost the instructions. Find it on YouTube. Let's talk sports. Right? So here's the thing. Sports is one of the very unique things or unique aspects, right? You can't go to Netflix and watch the NFL game, right? You can't, but NFL.com offers you a package. You could just stream it. And there's ways to illegally do it too. And you can watch any game you want. I mean, it's that, or you pay the ridiculous amount that DirecTV charges you to have all the games or whatever, right? You could do that if you want. Or you watch whatever's on your local stations or on ESPN on Monday night. That's what you get to watch. Or NFL Network on Thursday nights. The only time people really watch TV is because the only way to watch it is through TV. Okay? And the thing about games is nobody wants to go and watch a football game on demand. People want to watch it live while it's happening. That's a unique aspect about sports. But even that's becoming, live streaming is the new thing now. Live streaming is ahead of the curve now. Hell, in a lot of cases, live streaming is a lot more reliable than satellite TV. So it's, pick your poison. That's what's happening. All right. So TV is becoming less and less relevant, and TV knows it. If you have any of these channels, any of these TV providers, it never fails. Every month or every other month, there's some type of channel takedown, right? There's some type of channel takedown. Well, what's a channel takedown about? Well, you see, usually what happens is, or what's starting to happen anyway, because it's starting to happen at a much more rapid rate now, is these channels are asking for more money, even though less people are watching it. Okay? Now, just because it's less people, it's still a lot of people, though. But it's actually, the value of it's not going up. It's going down, the value of it. Right? But what happens is that they take out their channel lineup, and the customers call, and they're mad, and they threaten to cancel, or they do cancel, go to another provider. And these TV providers just they go ahead, they get suckered in, they take the deal because they don't want to lose customers. And what happens every fucking year? Every fucking year with TV, even though less and less people are watching TV, what happens every fucking year? I don't care what provider you have. Every fucking year the price goes up. Every fucking year. Right? Now these companies, they're getting their guaranteed money. Okay? When ESPN, they went through their contract renewals last year, right? Or the year before. I forget, it was 2015 and 2016. They went through contract renewals, right, with a lot of these TV providers, right? And what happened was they asked for an outrageous amount, and it was actually not ESPN, by the way, it was Disney, but still, ESPN was bundled with that. And they were asking for an outrageous amount of money, right? And what they would do, they would take it off the air, so these providers couldn't give it to their customers, and that causes people to call in like crazy. They demand that the channel comes on, this, that, and they cancel. People are pissed. People want to watch their games and stuff, right? Um, but ESPN got a lot of their guaranteed money, right? They wanted to lock that in for multiple years. Okay, for multiple years. They even signed a deal with Slink TV, which is a branch off of Dish Network. Okay, to be able to stream ESPN stuff out of there for their service. And I don't even think they're making money out of that, but they just wanted to kind of have that, already in place, have that guaranteed contract for 5, 6 years. Now, then why are they losing money? The reason they're losing money is because a lot of people are not watching it. They don't have a monopoly anymore. That's only part of the money, but they're losing money because of the advertisements. Okay, the advertisers are not paying them as much because not as much people are watching them. Okay, like if you're an advertiser, you don't pay a set price, right? The TV providers, they have a contract, they pay a set price. But as far as let's say you're ESPN and Coca-Cola puts an ad, but very few people watch that game or that broadcast. They're only, however that works, they're only going to pay a certain amount, right? And that's the reality. That's where we are, folks. That's where we are, right? Also, the channels are becoming more and more. I mean, let me tell you something, man. If you have a cable or satellite TV company and you have 250 channels, I mean, really, you could watch one channel every day, and it's going to take you most of the year to get to at least one channel per day. Get the fuck out of here, okay? You're not going to watch all those channels. So what's happening is you have a package of 250 channels, but you don't watch 90% of them, right? Like they'll put certain channels that are popular on the higher package, so you have to pay an extra $10 a month for that. Then even though you're not going to watch, they're going to add 50 more channels. You only want that one channel, and that's it. The TV model doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't work that way. Now, in fairness to TV providers, if they can't give it to you any other way, they can't just be selling one channel at a time. That would be a pain in the ass. And frankly, their business would fall. They would fail. But unfortunately for them, that's just not the way it works anymore. See, what's starting to happen little by little is that the middleman, meaning the TV providers, right? Whoever puts a satellite dish on your house or the cable company, the middleman is being wiped out. They're taking the middleman out of the equation. Okay, because what's happening right now is you have the channels. They want to make a profit. For the longest time, they needed the channel providers. And when I say that, by the way, I'm talking DirecTV, Time Warner, Comcast, Dish, Verizon 5, whatever, okay, Uverse, whatever the hell. They need to make a profit, and then the customer pays for it. So the middleman is being taken out. That's happening already. And it's evolution. It's going to happen, okay? So the middleman is being taken out, right? And in a couple years, ESPN is going to be selling ESPN just like Netflix does Netflix, right? So ESPN is going to be something you could purchase directly. Right now, you could already do HBO directly. It's called HBO Now, actually, pun intended. But you could already do that. You could already do that with like Showtime, I believe. Okay, I'm not sure about Stars, but you can do that with a lot of these channels. A lot of these channels, you can actually just go to their website or get an app and pay for it directly. Like you're not paying a specific provider for it. You're just doing it directly to them. That's one of the reasons a lot of these disputes are happening with a lot of these providers. Okay, because for the longest time, the contracts would read, all right, so you're gonna pay us this amount, and we cannot go directly to the customer. They got to go through you, right? So that was basically the deal. It's kind of like the promoter in boxing. We'll do the promoting, you pay us, we'll take care of the rest. That's basically the way it worked, right? And for the longest time, it benefited the channels, right? They didn't just suddenly wake up one day and say, we just want to sell directly to the customer. No. It benefited them, all right? Because have you ever noticed that there's channels you never fucking watch? Okay? I know a lot of you probably don't even have TV anymore, but from what you remember, Remember, there was channel names and these specific like channels that you just no one watched. Yeah, that's because let's say Viacom, knowing that little kids want freaking Nickelodeon and MTV and shit, knowing that they had that over the head of the people that were doing negotiations with, they would add on other channels that nobody fucking watches. Like, and they would say, hey, you want MTV, you want Cartoon Network. I don't think Nickelodeon's with them, but you want Cartoon Network, you want Boomerang, you want to make your kids happy. Okay, you want to give them SpongeBob or whatever. Do you want your little you want Haley at age 14 to have her MTV? Okay, so here's the deal, right? You're gonna buy these other 10 channels. Nobody's gonna fucking watch them, but you're gonna have them on your lineup and you're gonna pay for them. And if you don't, then we won't agree to the deal. Okay, this is why you would have these disputes, and for 2-3 weeks, DirecTV didn't have Viacom, and then eventually DirecTV was losing way too much money, way too many people were canceling, so they went ahead and agreed to it. It cost them less to just buy these 10 channels, okay, or pay for them anyway. But now that doesn't work. So a lot of these providers are saying, no, we're not going to pay for these other channels. And in turn, what's happening? Well, they're making deals with them. They're saying, okay, well, you don't have to purchase these other channels, but you're going to agree that we can sell directly to the customer. And well, as of right now, the channel providers don't really have a choice, right? So that's what's happening right now, this moment. And the truth is, there's a lot of people that actually prefer that. So let's say you're a fan of The Walking Dead, and if you could purchase AMC, just directly through them using your internet to stream it, and you could just pay them, I don't know, whatever. Let's say you pay them, $7 a month, $5 a month, and you pay another, I don't know, what is it, $9.99 for Netflix. And then, let's say you want Fox Sports 1, you could just buy it directly through them. You want ESPN, buy it directly through them. You have the channels you want, and you pay whatever you pay, $20 a month or whatever, and then that's it. That's you can control what you want. Whereas with channel providers, it doesn't work that way. They're on packages. Okay. So TV is changing. So TV is changing dramatically. And then we got to go another layer above that, because from channels, you have people that make shows, right? So we can reach a point where people making shows can just sell the show to Netflix directly, and that's already happening, right? Rather than to channels that are on TV broadcasts, right? So there's a changing of the guard happening, and it's happening right on our very eyes, right? It's happening right in front of us. I honestly don't remember the last time I grabbed the remote control and got on the sofa and started just looking for a channel or something to watch. I don't remember the last time I did that. Okay. The one thing is that it's convenient, but for the longest time, people would say, well, I don't want to watch it from my phone. But now they have shit where you could plug it into your TV and watch it on your television. So even that's being eliminated, okay, from the equation altogether. All right? Everybody knows it's true. Everybody knows it's true. I predict that by the year... Well, actually, hold on. Let me... There is a bit of an issue going on, and that's a lot of... This is happening on the down low, by the way. Okay? And what a lot of people don't know is that, and that's actually... I can't finish the video without talking about this. So I don't know how many of you know about net neutrality, right? So right now on the internet, Time Warner or Comcast, whoever you have internet with, okay, Uverse, cannot just, they can't dictate how fast a certain website is, or, they can't really do that, right? They have no authority to do that right now. Okay, and as you noticed, streaming is taking over television, and it's doing it big. And the reality is, because of the model, these TV providers are not making anywhere near as much money as they would like. Okay, Let's think of it today. I mean, there's people that pay, like if you have a direct TV and you want to have like your sports and you want cartoons for the kids and like you really want like a lot of shit and you have 5 rooms and every room needs a TV and you want DVR in every room. I mean, you're going to pay over $100 a month for that shit. Okay, period. So you're being forced to pay for a lot of shit you don't even need, like a lot of channels you don't even want. Okay, so streaming, it's not very popular amongst them. So right now, although there's other components to it, but with net neutrality, they want to kind of control that, right? Okay, and I know a lot of you know, are Donald Trump fans, and that's great, but Donald Trump is going to kill, or wants to anyway, kill net neutrality, which means that, like, just use your brains for a moment. You really think that if Time Warner, or Comcast, okay, I know Time Warner's actually changed. That I forgot the name, but they're called something. They're changing the name to something else. Okay, if you really believe that they're just gonna, you know, like you don't think for a second that if Comcast in your area, if you have internet through them, right? Do you really believe that they're going to make sure that Netflix runs smoothly for you at all times? You really believe that? And right now, I honestly believe they throttle a lot of this shit. I really do. But could you imagine if they can dictate to you, hey, so I know you have Netflix and I know you do a lot of streaming and you buy it directly through them, but it just so happens that you got to buy the next tier up. You know, you got to buy the little faster internet because with a regular internet package that worked just fine before, we have authority now to slow down those websites. We have authority to do that. You don't. They're fighting for their survival here. You don't think they're going to do that? If Uverse, who does have Uverse television, you don't believe that if you're buying third-party streaming services where you're buying directly through the channel, do you really believe they're going to make it nice and fast for you when you could just buy it through them and they'll rather you buy it through them? Of course you're not. Okay? Do you really believe that? Because even companies like DirecTV is partnered with AT&T, so same thing with them, right? Do you really believe if that they're going to partner with DirecTV? You really think that the NFL mobile app is going to be nice and fast for you when they get rid of net neutrality? When DirecTV sells the NFL package? Do you really believe that there's other companies, DirecTV, okay, bought off a lot of like Earthlink, and so they have control over some places too. They knew this years ago. That's why decades ago, okay, they started getting involved in the internet companies, okay? They knew this, right? So do you really believe that they're going to make it nice and fast for you? Or do you think that, by golly gee, they're going to start slowing this shit down? And not just with TV, right? A lot of these companies give money to politicians, right? So if let's say that the ties and the suits in a certain company, right? In any certain, let's say whatever, fill in the blank, okay, service provider, right? Do you believe that if they are funding a certain, politician, or certain political party, or whatever, you don't think they're going to start making certain websites slower? Like, you don't think they're going to start monkeying with that when they're given the authority to do it? Of course they are. And they're going to have the ability to hold these other entities ransom. So let's say they all get together and say, well, look, Netflix, if you want to be able to have the normal speeds that we used to just give you automatically because it was law, But now we have authority to slow you down, right? Because there's no longer net neutrality. You want, okay, guess what? You're gonna have to pay us this many, millions per year per provider. This many hundreds of millions per year. And then guess who's gonna pay for that? All of a sudden, you don't think Netflix has to be affordable, but it has to survive too. Who's gonna pay that? Oh, good news! I've got great news, guys. Comcast is no longer throttling Netflix. Oh, they're not? Nah. But fuck, I just looked at my Netflix bill. It like tripled in price. Oh shit. I had HBO now the fucking shit's like 5 times more expensive. Like, what the fuck is going on? So that's what's happening here. Right? That we have, it's no different like in the energy industry, right? Like right now we have the ability to get rid of oil, right? Get away from oil and be literally energy independent without oil. We have that ability, but the fossil fuel industry, okay, has the politicians bought out. It's no different in this case. Okay, a lot of these, TV providers who also are internet providers, by no coincidence, right? And have monopolized it in many cases. It's crazy how they've monopolized it. It's not like a monopoly because it's not just one company, but in certain cases it is. So like you can only have one cable provider, okay, in certain areas, and if it's this one that's the one cable provider that offers you internet, and unless Uverse is already dug in your area, that's the only option you have in some cases. That's the reality. Okay, so they're gonna fight for survival. Like they're not gonna go out without a fight, is what I'm trying to say. And at the end of the day, who's gonna pay for it? We are. That's who's gonna pay for it. Okay, when shit becomes more affordable, and you always hear this bullshit about the free market. Oh, the free market, let the free market be. It's the people that run the market start to fuck with it when they're fighting for survival. That's the way it is. Okay. It's in some cases it's okay to pass a law and get the government involved and say, no, net neutrality will remain. No, it is against the law, okay, for you to mess with people's internet speeds or certain website speeds just because you disagree with them politically, because they are competitors of yours. You cannot do that, right? So, and that's the law now. Like the way it is now, all right, is not the way it's going to remain. It's not. Because they're killing, right? Everybody's talking about Russia and North Korea. Like they're killing net neutrality like right under our noses. So, like it's happening right now. So, and that's something that's going to affect everybody. That's going to affect your pocket. Okay? It's the way it is. And a lot of these websites that give illegal streams, guess what? Guess what's going to happen? They're going to make them so slow, right? They're going to make anything that they don't, want slow. That's just the way it is. They're going to make it so slow it's impossible to stream that fight. Okay? They're going to have that ability, And right now, they have the ability to block certain things, but it's almost impossible. But if they're able to just, dictate what is fast enough, and everything else is slow, then they have a lot of control over that. So that's where we are, right? That's where we are. But it's eventually going to die out. But they're not going to go out without a fight. They're not. They're going to. Man, they're scratching and they're clawing, and it's going to be. Who knows how long it's going to last? It really does depend on people's awareness. It really is. If they normalize the fact that we don't have net neutrality anymore, if people normalize that and accept that, then we're going to be fucked, right? But if people are aware of it, then we might have a chance to get rid of the dinosaurs, as they say, and let's move on to the future. I honestly believe we would be so advanced as a society today, if there wasn't business and money involved and people trying to keep their business afloat. I believe that, right? I don't, when people say, yeah, there's already cures for cancer, but it's a business. A lot of money would be lost if there was an easy cure for cancer. It's not that hard to believe. It's not, right? It's not that difficult to believe. So, with that said, this is D Style Boxing, right? And yay, keep it boxing. I'm out.